I remember the first time I was standing in a hole filled with raw sewage. I thought to myself, it can't get any worse than this. Have you ever been in that position where you literally thought things really can't get any worse? Well, I got there again later. I started my own plumbing company, and I remember me and my wife talking one night because marketing companies were making our phone stop ringing. And if you own a business and you have other people's lives depending on you, you realize it can get worse. What I had to learn is I had to learn social media because I got tired of marketing companies literally taking my money and not doing what they would say and make my phone stop ringing. So we laid in bed and literally almost in tears tried to figure out what we could do to make our phone start ringing again. And what we learned is through networking, social media, video, live streaming, things like that, we could do it. But I had to learn it. Now, remember, I'm a plumber. What we had to learn was social local growth. And thanks to Leap into Live Streaming Bootcamp, we're able to tell you all the things that we learned. And what we did is we learned that by using social media to make our phone ring, we could do that for a local business. Now, when I walked in and first started learning social media, I remember walking into a session about YouTube. And I walked in and literally, when the guy told me that YouTube was the second largest search engine in the world, I almost walked out. And it was because I thought YouTube was just a place to store videos. And that's all I thought it was used for. I actually had videos on there, but I didn't know how to use it like a search tool. So, what we're going to talk about today are the different things that we used to get out in front of our customers, the people that we wanted to be in front of. What we found out at this conference to learn social media was that there were ways that we could get in front of our people without having to hire marketing companies. And the thing that I saw at this conference, the one that really hit me, was what change do you want to make in the world? And we knew that we wanted to change the way that plumbers were putting information out to get in front of people. And my business was failing at the time, so we had to try something different. And learning social media is what we decided to do. Now, I'm just like you. I'm a businessman, a small businessman. Now, my business is not marketing though. My business is actually plumbing. But I knew that if I wanted marketing companies to quit ripping me off, I was going to have to learn something different. I was going to have to learn something new. It was so funny because I remember contacting one of the marketing companies we were working with at the time. And literally, I told them that I wanted to start doing social media, and they were helping me with it. And I would get messages saying, hey, tomorrow's National Pizza Day. Put something out about pizza. Now, I got to tell you, I had to ask myself, what does that have to do with plumbing? I'm going to start off today telling you about networking because that's really where it started for us. Then we're going to talk about YouTube, the second largest search engine in the world, and it really is. We're going to talk about LinkedIn. And literally for me, LinkedIn is networking, the things that I've learned from networking and doing it online. Then I'm going to talk about LinkedIn Live. LinkedIn Live is the greatest way for me to connect with my community. I'm going to talk about video and what all I've had to learn, but the most important being, you don't have to be perfect to start, but you have to start to get perfect. And then the last thing is going to be SEO knowledge. Here's why. If you don't understand SEO knowledge, what it is, what it's about, you're not going to get it. You need to be able to talk to a marketing company as an educated consumer. You need to be able to talk to a marketing company and know what you're talking about. But what if you are that marketing company? Can you turn it around and make it make sense to a plumber? It was so bad. It was literally so bad. I would walk into marketing companies and talk to them, and we'd be trying to figure out how to set it up, how much money to spend, how to do this. And it'd be like, well, how many times a month do you think you can make my phone ring? Because as a small business owner, that's what it is. How do you make my phone ring? And they'd tell me, well, there's really no way of knowing. We can just tell you about how many times this ad is going to get seen, about how many times the click-through rate will be based on what we do on pay-per-click and whatnot. And I'm like, look, all I need to know is how many times are my phone going to ring? I know my conversion rate. I know what I can do with it. I know what my calls are worth. Can you tell me how many times you'll make my phone ring? And they literally said, no, we can't. I said, well, the last company told me, well, that they can make it ring 100 times a month for this much money. And now this guy's like, oh, well, yeah, we can beat that number. Be able to communicate with people, but be honest with them. And to me, that's why I had to learn about SEO. Networking 101. Networking is the foundation for everything that we do in social media, whether you realize it or not. If it's not the foundation of it, it should be. Because if networking is not what you're focusing on, you're focusing on advertising. Don't get me wrong, advertising is a great part of it, but you need to build your network first. Now, there's two different kinds of groups that we got involved with. We get involved with the weekly networking group, like Master Networks, which has been really good for us because we get to find a local networking group that meets in our area and we get to build a tribe around it. The other one was Network After Work. Now, Network After Work was great for me because I used to be in the bar business and this was a happy hour. Now, the problem with something like Network After Work is it's only once a month in your area. Now, that's a good thing because you don't want to be out at a happy hour every week trying to grow a business, but you do get out and you meet other entrepreneurs that are out trying to grow their business. Now, I remember the first time that I walked in to a networking event like this. My wife talked me into going, and I had never been to anything like it. Matter of fact, I fought it. I told her, I said, look, it's not working for you. She says, Roger, look, I have a business that people don't need every day. And with my business, I just have to build that long-term relationship to stay top of mind. Now, me being in plumbing, that's a little bit different. I'm really in a business that people need it. It's an emergency. Most of us have a plumbing problem at home right now that if you met me and we were talking, you'd think, oh, wow, I've got something I need you to do. So we went to this networking event. And I told her when we walked in, I said, look, I want you to go your way. I'm going to go mine. We're not here to hang out together. Let's network. When we got ready to leave about 3 hours later, she literally comes up to me and says, oh my God, every time I looked up, you've got a crowd around you. You're waving your arms in the air. You're talking, you're laughing. What were you talking about? And I just said, Julia, it's funny. Everybody who came up to me wanted to talk about plumbing. They'd see my shirt and say, oh my God, you're a plumber. I'd say, no, I'm a drug dealer. I just wear the shirt to mess with people's minds. Now, that may not be what you want to say, but they remembered me. Every time people would come up to me for the next few months, they come up, they're like, oh my God, you're that drug dealer guy that's pretending to be a plumber. Oh, by the way, I've got a problem at home. And I built some great friendships there. Now, happy hour networking or daytime networking, learn how to communicate with people. And think about this. You wouldn't walk into a networking event and just walk up to somebody and say, hey, give me your website because I'm going to go through and look at it and I'm going to rebuild it. And this is how much it's going to be. And here's what I'm going to do for you and yada, yada, yada. That's not how you do it. Now, you would know that at a networking event, but what are you doing on social media? Is that what you're doing? Is you're just reaching out saying, look what I can do for you? Because I have people connect with me all the time, either through a networking event or online. They connect like, hey, look, I want to get to know you. I want to get to know you. I want to get to know you. As soon as you hand them a business card, you're in their CRM and you are just a salesperson to them. You are just somebody that they are trying to sell everything they own to. Think about it in networking. Know how to build your tribe. Learn how to do a face-to-face. Meet people, get to know them. It's not a sales meeting. Don't mark it up as one. Learn how to connect with people. Learn how to bond with people. Learn how to find out how you can help them and how they can help you. When I meet people, whether it's at networking events or even online, I don't assume that they're my customer. Matter of fact, I look at it just the opposite. You're not my customer. But if I build a relationship with you, you can introduce me to a lot of people that you know that may need my help. Now we're going to talk about YouTube. And this is really where it started for me. I knew that if I wanted to do social local growth, I had to find out how to use social media, not just nationwide. I had to fine tune it to get down to my area. Now, like I told you, YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. And of course, it's owned by the largest, Google. So where do you think people are going for information? They're going to Google or they're going to YouTube. Now, this is great because if you're posting there, if you're putting videos up and you're doing things, you're going to have people's attention. Now, what I would tell you to start off with is get your channel started, then do your research. Get it started. Make sure you can get your names. And what I mean by that is whatever platform you want to be on, whatever brand you're trying to build, get your names everywhere. You may not want to do a MySpace account, but if MySpace ever comes back and you don't have your name there, you're going to be upset about it. Try to find out how to get your brand everywhere. So then start your channel and start finding out everything about it. What is your competition doing? Who else is doing what you want to do? Find out how they're doing it. Find out what they're trying to do, where they're trying to do it, and where all they're at. Now, my competition here locally does 60 and probably $70 million a year. That would be the two largest companies. How do I compete with them? Well, I do it through social media. Now, these guys are on TV, radio, and everywhere else multiple times a day. There are some mornings that I get up and get ready and I've got the morning news on and I'll see their ads 5 or 10 times before I leave. Guys, this is an every morning occurrence. So I can't compete with that. I'm a very small plumbing company with just a couple of trucks. So what do I have to do different? I have to use social media. So what I've done is I started using YouTube to grow my brand. And what I did is I actually started growing it here locally because I was making videos for my customers. Making videos to teach them how to do things that maybe they could do themselves. Now think about that. If somebody teaches you to do something and you can do it yourself, it's great. But if they teach you how to do something and you think that may be too hard for me, now they are your trusted advisor. That's the person that you want to call and talk to. And trust me, I get calls from across the country from people wanting to fix their own plumbing. Don't get me wrong, I don't go that far, but think about it like this. Remember I talked about the SEO knowledge and stuff like that? When they see my videos or my live streams or whatever it is I'm doing, and I talk about my company or they see my company, they may do research and come to my webpage. They may read the content that I have there. We put good content everywhere we put it. I'll talk more about that later, but if I can get people onto my webpage, that's going to build my domain authority. And I can do this through YouTube because I've always got banners, signs, logos. There's always something somewhere around that says who we work for. Or people just search me by name. They look at my content in YouTube. There's links to my website. I can easily be found. And if I can do that, what can happen is I can build my domain authority or I can direct them to pages and build my page authority. So that's the way that I compete with people here locally. Like I said, 60 or $70 million a year, they've got an advertising budget bigger than my annual revenue. So my big differentiator is what I do on YouTube. So starting to make videos for my customers, then starting by learning and realizing that I've got people that want to get into the trades, or I've got plumbers that are in the trades that want to get better. I can make videos for them, and that also helps me grow. Now, I've actually got business owners that get on my page, leave comments. I've got marketing companies that come in, get on my page and leave comments and ask me if they can interview me. And everybody's wanting to figure out how I'm doing it. Social local growth is something that most marketing companies will tell you cannot be done. But I promise you, if you keyword research things, you put the right words in your titles, you can learn to do anything through social media. And I'm living proof that it can work for social local growth. That's what's going to help your people grow locally. Remember to find out what your competition and what your other people are doing, but also what are your customers looking for? What are the people in your area that would call you to come do business for them? What are they looking for? And are they able to find it? If you've never done it, pull out your phone now and go to YouTube and search plumbing. see what comes up. Remember, I'm a local plumber out of the Dallas area, and I'm probably one of the smaller companies around, but I'm competing with the big boys. And this is how I'm doing it. Because if I can come up on the national level, I can come up on the local level. And that's how people are finding me. LinkedIn. Now, this is really what changed the world for me. And the reason is we had already been putting out videos. We had already been doing great content, reading, writing, curating, everything that we could do. Now, LinkedIn is not just a job posting board, and I've never looked at it that way. It's where I grow my brand and authority by networking. Remember what I talked about? Master networks, networking online, networking 101. I use the exact same information that I learned in there and bring it here. How to bond with people, how to connect with people. What are the right questions to ask? How do I grow my community? How do I grow my tribe? And this is where I do it. Now, think about it. I don't want to reach out to everybody who has plumbing. People that think everyone in the world is their customer. And that's one thing it'd be easy for me to say. Look, if you use the restroom, I'm your guy. Okay? I'm not. Okay? I'm not everywhere people are at. I'm not for everybody. Maybe they have rental property that they live in. I normally don't work for rental property companies unless it's a property management company. Then again, what if they live in an apartment or a condo? I'm probably not their guy because they've got maintenance men. If I'm trying to work for everybody, I'm really not trying to work for anybody. So my big thing is I want to make sure that I connect with people that can connect me to my customers. So as a plumber, the thing that I found out is if I would reach out to real estate agents and connect with them, that would be good for me. Now, I don't just connect with them and then say, hey, I want to be your plumber. I connect with them, but then I always make sure I'm putting out good content. Now, on LinkedIn, I may write articles. I may post pictures. I may ask questions. I may share other people's content. I may put videos out. And I'll tell you what, I also do live streaming on LinkedIn. So here's what LinkedIn is to me. It's a great way for you to build your community, build your tribe. Because if you can build that and you've got people that you can supply great information for, they're going to keep coming back to you. They're going to keep coming back to your page. They're going to keep coming back and reading what you do. They are going to support you because you're bringing them great information. And to me, that's what LinkedIn is. It's a way we can build an amazing community, an amazing tribe. And think about it. If I'm picking real estate agents to connect with, where do you think they live? Probably the Dallas area. We're northeast of Dallas. So anywhere around us in this area, and we know our area, that's where we want to be. Who could connect me to more homeowners buying homes or selling homes that has plumbing problems that might need to be fixed? That's how I use LinkedIn. How can you use it? What is it that you can do that would connect you with the people that could put you in front of more of your customers? And it's funny because I ask people this often. How can LinkedIn help you grow your community? And if you look at it like that, you don't just want to connect with your customers. What would be better would be connecting with people that can connect you to your customers. And that's how I've used LinkedIn to really help me with social local growth. And the other big deal is always bring value. It does not matter if we're doing a video, if we're doing a live stream, or if I'm writing an article. I want to make sure it's something that those people can use. They may want to share it with their people. So if I created an article, how to do a sewer water test and why the word hydrostatic test is completely wrong, real estate agents may want to read that. If they've ever had one done or wanted to have one done, they're going to know what I'm talking about. Now, what if they share this with their CRM? What if they share this with their people that are either buying houses, selling houses, maybe their team, maybe their office at work? Real estate agents have been great for me, and it's been a good community for me to build and grow with. I mentioned LinkedIn Live. Now, LinkedIn Live is great because in 2019, I was one of the first 12 people in the world asked to do LinkedIn Live. And it's been a great way for me to connect with people. but it's because I bring great content. Now, in 2020, LinkedIn Live has been amazing for us. It has helped us grow and get noticed nationwide. Again, I'm talking nationwide, but I can draw people into my YouTube videos. I can draw them into my YouTube lives. And with LinkedIn Live, I can communicate with them. So what that's done, that has got me massive amounts of attention. I have actually been interviewed on Yahoo, on CNN, on Forbes. I have done NBC, ABC, CBS, and Fox. I have done so many things that before social media came along, people probably wouldn't even know who I was. So the fact that I get to get in front of a camera twice a week, and I could do it as much as I want, but we actually, when we started, LinkedIn asked us, said, look, in the beginning, will you do it at least twice a week? We've stuck with that. We literally, every Tuesday and Friday, we get on LinkedIn Live. Now, don't get me wrong, a major holiday, something happens, we get that. It may not always happen. There's also technical issues. Trust me, tech happens. And when it does, we do the best we can with it, but we don't let it slow us down. What we do is we get in then and comment and say, hey guys, look, we had problems today. Here's what's going on. Here's where we're at. We still want to bring value. So when we get ready to go on live, we know what we want to talk about. We know what it's about. We may even tag something or hashtag something or whatever we want to do. If we want to talk about people or bring people in, there's different things that we can do. So having LinkedIn Live is amazing. If you've applied for it, great. If you've applied for it and it's been a while and you haven't been approved yet, keep on applying. Because here's the deal. Remember that community I was talking about building a while ago? When I go live, they know about it. They get notified, Roger's going live. Now, think about it. If you knew you had a plumber going live and you had plumbing problems, or you had a customer with plumbing problems, what a better way than to get on social media and ask them questions? Maybe you can get some free advice. Maybe, because trust me, guys, we don't sell. That is not what my live streams are about. That's not what my videos are about. It's about bringing great value, great content, great information. Luckily, I learned a long time ago, if people are going to give me time of their life, I need to give them value back. And the engagement, the attention, everything that it's got. Remember, guys, I've been doing this 2 years. And I was one of the first 12 people in the world to do LinkedIn Live. That is such an amazing blessing. And it's been great for us. We've used it well, but also it's how we use it. It's what we pick, what we choose to talk about, and the way that we always engage with our audience. Now we're going to talk about video. And video is amazing because to me, video is the future of social media all the way around. Whether you're doing just videos or you're doing live streaming, learn how to do it now and get ahead of everybody else. Now, there's not a lot of plumbers doing live streams. There's not a lot of plumbers even really doing video. But here's the thing, social local growth can keep everyone else back behind us. And as long as we stay ahead of everybody else, we're doing great. So do like we did. Start with what you have. We literally started with iPhones. We started with webcams. We started with shop lights from the local hardware box store to get us started. And it worked. So do what you have to. And then practice. You don't have to post every single video you make. Make a couple, practice, and then get them posted. Now, like I said earlier, you don't have to be perfect to start, but you have to start in order to get perfect. Now, the one big thing that I will tell you is learn to tell stories. Learn to talk about how you've learned, how you've grown, how you've done things. Because if people can hear your story, look at me. I'm a plumber. And if you think you can't do this, man, I want to know why. I'm a plumber running a plumbing company and I'm still out plumbing every day. I understand time, and time's a problem. I get it. But if I can make a video and have 600,000 people watch it to learn how to fix a toilet, how much brand authority do you think that gives me? I've got a lot of people coming to me to solve their plumbing problems. Now, I did not give myself the name, the expert plumber. I actually won a contest. But we started using that and branding that, and it actually worked out very well for us. So when we started making videos, we wanted to make sure we were bringing the best content out there. Now, when you first start out, your videos aren't going to be good. We get that. Ours weren't either. But what we learned is we always wanted to get 1% better. So if you start with your phones, if you start with your webcam and any kind of a microphone you can get, you're going to be okay. Just get started. Learn that you can always upgrade. Literally, we started with the webcam on the computer, then we upgraded to a $100 camera, maybe a $150 camera. We upgraded to like a $150 microphone. Now we've definitely upgraded. We've got multiple cameras. They're very nice cameras, multiple microphones, amazing lights. We have upgraded along the way, but we didn't do it all at once. Do what I tell people to do. Start with what you have and see if you like it. See what kind of engagement or content. Now, don't get me wrong. When you start doing video, when you start doing live stream, you're not going to be a superstar immediately. It's not just going to happen that you've got 3,000 people and they're watching you. Now, can you get it to that? It depends on how you build it and how you want to build it. It also depends on how good the value is. What is it you give people? Is the content great? Now, I will tell you this, on the audio, the microphones, upgrade as soon as you can. People will take good audio and bad video longer than they'll take bad audio and good video. So try to upgrade your microphones first, then upgrade your cameras. Lighting, man, that's a big deal. You want to make sure that you're giving people good value. And the only way you're going to do it is improve. Now, I always upgrade my phone so I've got the best cameras out there, because sometimes we do carry them out and shoot plumbing work, shoot a job that we're doing, shoot anything at all like that. Anytime you can let people into your lives, show them what you do, let them see what you do, and let them see how you do it, they get to see your story. They get to be part of your story, and they get to see how your story goes. Learning video, learning to do it the right way will help you. The two biggest tips that I can tell you is always look right into their eye. Okay? When you look into their eye, they see you. And when they see you, they can connect with you. And you notice that when I say you, I'm talking to you. I'm not talking to everybody in the room. I'm not talking to everybody that may be watching this video. I'm talking to one person. And the reason is, one person is all that's listening to me, and that's you. So I want you to understand that I know you can do this. SEO knowledge. Now, I had to learn about SEO knowledge. I had to learn enough about SEO to know what to ask, to know what to talk about, to know what they were trying to tell me. Don't get ripped off by OPM marketing. OPM marketing, other people's money, that is what they're all about. They will tell you whatever they want to get you to give them more money. So SEO and pay-per-click, I get it. There's a monthly investment involved. You want to build a strongly optimized website. I prefer that over pay-per-click, because if you build a good, strong foundation that works on every page, people are going to be able to find what they're looking for. Now, it was great that I started learning this, because the more I learned about SEO and websites, the more I learned about social media and using SEO on it. Now, I was spending a lot of money in pay-per-click. I've finally quit spending that money in pay-per-click, spending it more on SEO, more on my website, more on equipment for social media, and the people to help me do it. Where do you want to spend your money? Because if you just keep sending money to pay-per-click, as soon as you stop, your phone stops ringing. But if you invest that money in equipment for live streaming, for video, for recording, for a podcast, for whatever it is that you want to do, it's going to help you. And that's going to be a long-term investment. Think about it. If you optimize your web page better than any web page around, and you spend a little bit each month, maintenance, keeping it up, adding a blog, a video, a live stream, doing different things, that's always going to have a great ROI. And if you do that on a regular basis, it's going to do nothing but help you, because social media builds a community. When I put out videos and people get to know me, they get to like me, they get to trust me, They get to connect with me. I always tell people buy from people they know, love, trust, and they're connected with. And if it works like that, social media can be your ticket into them. What I love about social media, I can make videos that people can watch on the treadmill. That's how it started for me. I was going in searching YouTube, searching Google, and I'd come up with videos to watch. That's how I found out about Gary Vee. That's how I found out about Michael Stelzner. That's how I found the people that helped influence me. That's how I found the people that helped change the way I thought about social media. And if you change the way you think and learn to look at it as, I don't use social media to advertise. I use social media to build my brand, to build my authority, to become a trusted advisor for my customers or people wanting to get into the trades or people that are already in the trades but want to do better. Or maybe it's a business owner that wants to start a business and he likes what I'm doing on social media and that's what he wants to learn to do. And if you learn to use SEO for social, you can get found for pretty much whatever you want to get found for, but you have to do it right. Learn to put certain words in your titles, even in your thumbnails. You know, Google can see by your thumbnail what your video's about and know what it's about, unless you're clickbaiting it or making up a funny thumbnail, but they can tell what it's about. All that is search engine optimization. And if you're doing it right, social local growth becomes easy. It becomes something that you can do very easily. And SEO and that knowledge, knowing how to talk to your website people, how to let them know what you want. Talk to them about building that solid foundation. You want them to come in and fix as many pages as they can right off the bat. That's your foundation. Now, what pages are you getting found for the most? Let's improve those to help them get found even more. Learning SEO has been huge for me. And trust me, I am so far out of my comfort zone there, it's crazy. Remember, I'm a plumber. I don't know much about computers. I sure don't know how to write code, but I do know how to talk SEO and find out what's going on my page. So if you learn this, it's something that can help you, not just with your website, but also with all your social media platforms, because you want them working together, looking alike, saying the same thing, and that's going to help you grow. And trust me, social local growth is what it's all about. Now, we've talked about networking. We've talked about how you learn your social manners there. We've talked about YouTube. It's not just a video storage platform. It is where you can be found. We've talked about LinkedIn, building relationships, building your tribe online like that. We've talked about LinkedIn Live. That's where you get the engagement. Now, I told you about LinkedIn Live, but I also do YouTube Live. When I live stream on YouTube once a week, every Monday. I live stream on LinkedIn twice a week, every Tuesday and Friday. And I'm building engagement, but I'm also building it with different communities. I've built tribes in both places. Video, the biggest thing about live streaming is engagement. And if you engage with your people, if you talk to your people, whether it's on YouTube or LinkedIn, whether it's live streaming or video, people leave comments. People want to talk to you. People want you to talk back to them. So it's not just put something out there and throw it out and let's see what happens to it. We have an opportunity to talk to the people that are giving us their time, the people that are spending time with us, watching us at our live streams. When we get out and we jump in and we do live streams, when people spend time to come in and talk to us and leave comments, engage back, say hi, say hello, ask where they're at, ask what's going on. You can build an engagement and a community and a tribe that will always support you. And if you do that on a regular basis, it's going to be huge for you. Then we talked about SEO knowledge. What do you need to know to talk to a marketing company about your webpage? But if you're a marketer, dumb it down for us. I'm a plumber. If you talk to me in language I can understand, you're going to have my respect because you've been able to explain it to me like nobody else can. Now, all plumbers aren't that way. I get it. Some of us have had to learn more about SEO and websites and domains than other people. I get it. But communicate with us on our level. not on yours. And I learned that when I make my videos, I don't use plumber jargon. I don't use words they've never heard. I want to try and explain things so they can understand it. Because if they can understand it, I've made it simple and easy for them, and I've explained it to them in a way nobody else can. Now, there's a lot of different things that you can do, and you have a lot of different options. But using video to reach your customers, using video to become their trusted advisor, you can do it. If you'll get the opportunity to get in front of them, you'll get that opportunity again if you do it right. Meaning, if you want to learn about plumbing and I teach you a little bit about plumbing, chances are you're going to come back again and you're going to watch more. What are you doing to grow your brand, your authority? What are you doing to become the trusted advisor for the people in your community? How are you building your community? Are you building it based on what you need? Or are you just trying to build a lot of numbers? I had a guy try to come in a couple of years back and teach me about Facebook. And all he wanted me to do is grow my connections. He called it the hour of power. Come in every morning for an hour, connect with anybody in the world you can. You just go through the list, you start connecting, you find people, you friend people, you connect with them. And he says, look, I can get you up to 100,000 followers in no time at all. The problem was it was 100,000 people that I had no idea who they were. They had no idea who I was. I would much rather have a community that I have helped pick, helped grow, that I work with, that I recommend. I want to be connected to people I know, love, trust, and I'm connected with, because those are the people that I'm going to refer. Now, I started off talking about networking, and really it ends up with networking, because what we're trying to do is build a community. We're trying to build a community of people that are helping us and that we're helping. And once you build that community, they'll do anything for you, and you will do anything for them. I call this poop to popular because social media completely changed my life. It changed my business. My business is not failing anymore. It's actually thriving. But not just my plumbing business. I get calls from across the country about plumbing, but I've also now got calls across the country from people that want to learn more about social media. They want to learn more about what I'm doing, how I do it. I get calls from across the country from people that want to get into the trades. This would never have happened had I not started using social media, using video, and using live streaming to get out in front of people like I am. I'm probably like most of y'all. I was a small business owner trying to learn to make my phone grow. Social local growth is what taught me how to do it and how to do it here locally. I want to say thanks to Stephanie and Katie and Ecamm for giving me this opportunity. Now, I told you in the beginning about being in raw sewage and can it ever get worse than this? It did get worse. Me and my wife laid there and worried about how we're going to make our phone ring. How are we going to keep our doors open? How are we going to keep our business going? And that's something to worry about. When I was at that first conference for social media, during the conference, I literally got a call from my wife. My phone was blowing up. In between sessions, I walked outside and answered the phone, and she said, Roger, by the time you get home, we're going to be closed. We're not going to make it. And that was a tough call because here I am, a couple of thousand miles away from home. I'm at a conference. I can't leave early to get home. I'm there spending money. I'm there to learn. And my wife is telling me we're not going to make it. Well, I leaned in and I leaned in hard. I jumped in with both feet. I knew at that conference I had to learn what I had to do. The biggest tip I can give you today is implement. I had to leave that conference a little early on that Friday. I didn't get to stay for the keynote. Friday on the way home on the plane, I was going through my notes, and I was going through them hard all the way back to Dallas. I had to come because I had a radio show the next morning. After that radio show, I came back into the office and kept going through my notes, trying to put things together, trying to come up with a plan. The next morning, Sunday morning, got up, my wife and I went to church. I took her home and I came back to the office and I kept going through my notes, trying to figure out what I wanted to do. The next morning, Monday morning, when Julie and Will walked into the office, I told them, this is our plan. Here's what I want to do and here's how I want to do it. We implemented immediately. Now, it would have been very easy to just walk in Monday morning and let plumbing happen. Let it go. The plumbing company is going. It's busy. I don't have time to do this. That would have been the easy way out. But we didn't. We walked in and implemented and got things done. Within a month, we were posting 3 videos a week on YouTube. Not long after that, we were doing video on LinkedIn. Then we started live streaming on LinkedIn. Now we're live streaming on YouTube. Jumping in with both feet will put you in front of your community, your customers, whoever you want to be in front of, and building your brand, building your authority. If you want to do this, you can do it, but you have to implement now. If you keep waiting for everything to get perfect, it's never going to happen. Get started and then make it get perfect. This is a picture of me at the last conference that I went to, and I'm on the front row. And I'm sitting there, and if you look at the screen, the keynote speaker, Michael Stelzner, is talking about me. He talked about me for about 5 minutes, about how I walked into this same conference 2 years before, not knowing anything at all about social media. And now I have one of the fastest growing YouTube channels about plumbing, and I am slowly becoming the influencer about plumbing on LinkedIn. Once again, thank you to Stephanie Liu, thank you to Katie Fawkes and Ecamm for putting this on, and thank you for them for giving me the opportunity to present to y'all today. I hope you enjoyed it. Connect with me any way you want. Thank you, and have a great day.